Hey, what's going on, everybody? I just want to recap the 7th practice here. It's going to be a short recap because we weren't able to watch practice. However, Mario Cristobal, Tyler Van Dyke, Jafari Harvey, and Jalen Rivers all talked about it. So I just want to talk about maybe some things that they had to say and also just kind of tell you what's coming up in these next few days. So first off with the practice, it was a light practice. That's one of the reasons why we weren't able to be out here. Helmets and spiders is what they call it. And then they're going to do their first scrimmage on Saturday, which will be practice number 8. They're going to do a scrimmage at night. So that'll be really interesting to see. Coach Cristobal talked about how obviously you're looking for guys to step up, but one of the things is that they're going to do is obviously the coaches are going to be off to the sideline, let the players play. And if you've ever been to college practice at UM or high school, any type of practice, you always have coaches on the field. So when coach is talking about how the coaches are going to be off the field for a scrimmage and see it in a more game-like atmosphere, that's what he's talking about. So that'll be big. He said it's big for depth chart type things. I think it's going to be big because we got this first week of practices in, and I think it's going to kind of set the stage in terms of, okay, this is the baseline, and now we'll see how guys perform, if they're going to go up or down on the depth chart based on what we see at practices. And just a reminder, Miami's going to do 20 fall camp practices, 25 total as they prepare for the opener. Those final 5 practices will be in preparation for actual Bethune-Cookman week and game week. So again, just what they're going to do there. And then on Sunday, they're going to have a recovery day. This is all the plan as they recover from the scrimmage, full pad and everything like that, and back again on Monday. So just a few updates on what this team is doing these next few days, and then just some more stuff on what Coach had to say. I was able to ask him a question about his thoughts on the defense. The coaches have talked about increasing interceptions and turnovers and playing well on the line of scrimmage. We've talked a lot about that, so I asked Coach about his thoughts on the defense. What did he see? What did he think of it? And it's always tough for a head coach to evaluate one side of the ball because maybe you're happy with one side and then unhappy with the other. It's different than a position coach. But Coach said, yeah, the defense definitely won the 2-minute drill, he felt like, and he felt like there were some things that the offense did well, middle of the field type things. So he did have positive things to say about the offense, and so did Tyler Van Dyke. He actually said that he felt like it was the best performance by the offense this fall. So that was his take, and it was interesting because maybe he's looking at it from a first team standpoint, or his group when he was out there, and certainly the other groups struggled when he wasn't on the field with the other groups. But just as a whole, I think the defense just definitely did well in interceptions, but also just applying pressure. Coach thought, actually, he made mention that he thought the pocket was clean. He thought for the most part they did a pretty good job. So it's interesting to kind of hear the different takes. That's what Coach had to say. Just feels like someone asked him about, are they ahead of schedule or kind of where they're at. He just feels like they always set the bar high, and he just feels like progress is being made, was his response. So that was good to hear. Also, a couple notes from practice that I left out in the previous video that I want to make mention. 2 guys in particular, Elijah Arroyo at tight end, touched on Will Mallory being limited there with the contact, and I thought Elijah looked good in one-on-one drills. I thought he did excellent job on his route running ability, which was great to see out of a young tight end. But what I'm talking about is he just did a really good job of planning, getting to the inside. Miami obviously wants to get their tight ends in the middle of the field like most teams do. And I thought Elijah did a really good job on some one-on-one stuff there. So that was good to see because Elijah's a guy with a lot of ability. You want him to continue to work, and you really want him to be pressing Will Mallory as much as possible in terms of being a capable guy in case Will goes down, or if they just want to provide different looks and provide even just some depth, so Will doesn't have to be out there for every single snap. So it seems like Elijah's doing well, what I've seen so far. And then the other guy I want to note I didn't make mention of is Al Blades Jr. He's a guy that we've heard that can play a little safety. Obviously, he's played cornerback his whole career at Miami. And, seeing him go through drills, he kind of does, it's kind of hard to see, but certainly from what we saw in practice, he's kind of slotted in as a safety. And I think that's where he's at right now, and he provides some depth there the way it stands. With I touched on with James and Avante, kind of the lead roles. Cam's certainly trying to get in that mix, injured in the spring, trying to get back at it, and having that pick on yesterday's practice was certainly a good sign for Cam as he tries to make it in there. But just Al, kind of, for me, I'm going to kind of pencil him in as a safety from now on unless I start seeing some more cornerback stuff. But I think one of the reasons why you can kind of move them around like that is because of what you see at the cornerback spot. They feel good about some of these other guys with Corey Couch coming along. Like I said, they seem to like DJ Ivey, what he's bringing to the table. Daryl Porter's now in the mix at cornerback too. So, and also, kind of being out here, you see Isaiah Dunson get some quality reps as well. So we've not seen that since he's been at UM, but that's something to watch for too at that cornerback spot. again, I want to keep this video short. And the other thing that kind of stood out to me in post-practice interviews was Jafari Harvey was asked about Natalie Kelly, young freshman, talented guy. And he was impressed by him in the fact that the way he bends, seemingly, bends well for a guy that size and does well at getting around the edge, which is a good sign. And Jafari does work with Natalie quite a bit because he's part of this group of kind of this rush end group. There's 4 guys that work together with Natalie and Jafari, and then also Mitchell Agude, and then Cyrus Moss. Those 4 guys are kind of working in a group together as this rush end spot. And I think that position is going to be very interesting if Harvey can essentially hold off Mitchell Agude, which I think is going to be tough to do. Again, Mitchell's a guy that coming in from UCLA, that all Pac-12 second team honors last season. And Miami just does not have a lot of guys with honors, guys that got all conference honors. And I like what I've seen from Mitchell. I'm going to have a video on Mitchell from his practice clips over the weekend, so definitely stay tuned to that. More stuff, more videos still to be posted to the channel. Shout out to everybody that's been watching them so far. But, I enjoyed talking about the team, but certainly I like putting together the highlights and showing you guys the players of what we're seeing at practice. So I want to thank again everybody for watching, keeping this thing real short because we weren't able to see anything. Won't be able to see anything, I should say that too. Scrimmage is going to be closed on Saturday as well. Coach will speak afterwards. They'll submit a statement the way it works out, a kind of release. So we'll have some stuff on it and kind of react to it. Like I said, Sunday off and then back at it on Monday. So good first week overall. It's great seeing these guys out here and just kind of piecing everything together of what this team looks like. And I was talking to another reporter today. I just feel like in general, I feel more positive about this team than most people do. And that's kind of odd for me to say because I'm not usually that guy. I'm usually the one kind of, tempering expectations and things like that. It just feels like things are coming together at different spots on the ball. And I keep saying it, but I really like the additions that they've made to the team from the transfer standpoint. It's not going to be this influx of freshmen making a lot of impacts, I don't think, this year. There'll be a few guys that maybe get on some special teams, some depth stuff, but it's the transfers. I think they're really good. I think they're really going to make a big difference. And again, the coaching, the whole thing. So anyways, I've talked about this enough. Hopefully you have a good rest of the day. Have a good weekend and take care.